This class, and maybe a few after it, will be on Earth Day. I usually do Earth Month. So we'll be doing celebrating life on planet Earth. And today I'm obviously going to start with a song. The words are simple. And the mantra that's embedded in this song is Baba Nam Kevalam, which means that love is everywhere, or love is all there is. Peace to all, life to all, love to all. Peace to all, life to all, love to all. Baba Nam Kevalam. Baba Nam Kevalam. Baba Nam Kevalam. Bodies to all, life to all, love to all. Peace to all, life to all, love to all. Baba Nam Kevalam. Baba Nam Kevalam. Baba Nam Kevalam. Peace to all, life to all, love to all. Peace to all, life to all, love to all. Baba Nam Kevalam. Baba Nam Kevalam. Baba Nam Kevalam. Peace to all, life to all, love to all. Peace to all, life to all, love to all. So I'll put this guitar up. We'll stay in a seated position for a minute or two while we can sit comfortably, placing our hands on our knees or in our lap, and practicing balanced breathing, which is trying to inhale to 5 counts and exhale to 5 counts. So breathing in, breathing out. Trying to feel that fullness of breath. Breathing in shallowly from the chest, and then bringing the breath down to the navel, and then down even further. Using the whole capacity of the lungs and breathing that out. So So really feeling that belly pooching out at the end when we're on that inhalation, the tail end of the inhalation. Breathing top, middle, bottom. And then seeing if you can elongate that breath from 5 counts to 5 seconds, which is a little bit longer. Just being one with the breath. Just watching the breath. Just as if it's the tides of the ocean. Watching those tides as they come up to the shore and then as they recede back into the ocean. Taking one more complete breath. Namaskar. I greet you with all the charms of my mind and the love and cordiality of my heart. And we'll come into a tabletop, unfolding and uncurling the legs, curling the toes, coming up into standing position, and bringing the hands to the heart. Breathing in, breathing out. Anchoring into that earth, just slightly pressing the feet into the earth and rooting into that earth. Feeling those roots coming out of the soles of the feet and merging with that dirt and soil of Mother Earth. So feeling those feet engage the earth, and then feeling that earth energy coming up the heels, up into the knees, so the knees are soft, and then coming up the thighs, so there's an engagement there of energy, of muscles. When we build our mountains, coming up into the hips and feeling that tension there in the hips as well. Pulling in the abdominal muscles, pulling in the tail muscles, and then bringing that earth energy up the torso, coming up towards the heart, coming up to the top of the lungs, bringing the shoulders to the back, bringing the neck in a scooch and the chin, and then pressing the crown of the head into that clear blue sky. So we're spreading the fingers, pressing the toes, anchoring in the earth and sprouting upwards. Feeling that spring energy come through the body as we're sprouting towards the sun. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in light, breathing out all that doesn't serve us. And watching that breath as it breathes the body. Inhaling that left arm up towards the sky. And then there's a shift in the waist as we bring that left hand behind us. And it comes down towards the earth, and then we shift towards the front. Inhaling, so we're crossing this midline, integrating both the hemispheres of the brain. Inhaling the arm up, shifting in the hips, turning. So we're feeling that turn in all of the joints as we inhale upward towards the sky and exhale down towards the earth. And then we'll bring the other arm up, crossing the body, shifting in the other direction and coming down and towards the front. Sweeping that arm up, shifting in the waist and dropping that arm behind us. And kind of watching it with the eyes. So it's an eye exercise as well. Coming down behind us, and one more time, bringing this arm up. Shifting in the hips and circling it around, having it set behind us. And then we'll bring both arms up and exhale them behind us. Inhaling them up. It's just like we're clouds in the sky and we're a front that's moving east. Inhaling up and down. Inhaling up and behind. And this time as they come around behind us, we'll bring the hands back to the heart, that symbol of perfect balance, of perfect peace. And of course, peace is something that we all need to struggle for. So it doesn't just come naturally to us. It's something that we have to invest a lot of heart and energy into that. Breathing in, light, and exhaling all those thoughts and energies that don't serve us. Sending these arms up, and then we'll turn to the side. And as we come to the side, my opposite leg, I'm pressing this foot more firmly into the earth. Coming back to center, and then I'm listing to the other side. So I'm investing that other foot into the earth a little bit more. Inhaling, coming back to center, bringing the hands together and back to the heart. Then inhaling them up again, and this time we're going to swan dive down to the earth. And as I come down, I'm going to put my fingers around my big toes and gently pull my upper torso towards my legs a little. Inhaling, releasing the arms. Exhaling and coming all the way up. Inhaling into a gentle back bend. And then exhaling forward. And then we're going to sweep the arms around. And they're going to bounce down towards the hands and come back up. So we're going to bring the hands down to the heart. Breathe in. Breathe out. And once again, send the hands up and to the side. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in towards center. And then lifting over to the other side. Coming back to center, and as we come to center, we'll bring the hands down to the heart again. Pressing into that heart with our thumbs. The heart is the center of the creation. Inhaling up, and then we're coming up and exhaling into the forward fold again, grabbing those toes. Pulling myself towards my legs, just a scooch. And then inhaling slowly up. And as we come up, we exhale. Inhaling once again into a gentle back bend. Then coming back to center. Exhaling the arms down and around. And here we go down to the toes again and bounce back up. And then we bring the hands to the heart. And settle in the heart with the breath. Breathing in, breathing out. Being as flexible as the grass, so we'll do this one more time, leaning to the side. Coming back to center, being like that flexible blade of grass. Energizing that opposite side from which we're leaning, coming back to the center, and then the hands will come back to the heart. Breathing in and breathing out. And then we'll inhale the hands up, and here we go into the swan dive once again. Coming into those toes. Inhaling those arms back up, and as we come up, we exhale, and then inhaling into a gentle back bend. Coming to the center and exhaling and swinging the hands down and back up. And we'll sweep the arms out. So I haven't had the pleasure of meeting many owls. So we'll do the owl twist, bringing one wing up to the shoulder, one wing behind the back. So you can see it coming out the other side. And then we'll swing the arms up, having the wings come all the way up and down. Coming up and sweeping the other direction. So owls have that fantastic ability to glide noiselessly through the air. So after twisting to one side, we'll bring those wings out and sweep them down and swooshing to the side again. Effortlessly and silently as the owl. Keeping that elbow up. Looking over that back shoulder. Swishing those wings out and down and back up. And then we'll come into the T and turn on the other side. Twisting the ankles, the knees, the hips, the spine. Looking over that back shoulder, sweeping those wings out and up again, swooshing them down, coming up and bringing the hands to the heart. Breathing in, breathing out. Remembering that to get more understanding of what's happening in life, what's happening in the world. It sometimes is not always related to assimilating more knowledge about something. We have to apply that inner light, listen to that inner intuition as well. So next we're going to do an asana that I don't do often because it's a little different. So spreading the feet so that they're more than hip width, because we're going to come into a little squat. So they're just a little wider, so this is sometimes called the horse stance as we come into a squat. And so while we're doing this position, we're going to be moving the arms from side to side. And there's a part of this sequence that goes in the back. So the hands will come around the back, and they can either come up like this, or they can point down, or the hands can rest inside each other. So you can choose whichever hand position you'd like to do in the end. So we'll get started by sinking into those knees. Hopefully the knees are going straight forward. And there's a little chant that goes with this. So we'll start with bringing the hands to the left side. So this elbow is up. And the thought is, I send peace to all living beings. And then coming back to the heart space. Breathing and sealing that. And then we go to the other side, and I wish life to all living beings. And then we breathe into that space and bring it home to the heart. And then we inhale both arms out. I send love to all living beings. And then the hands continue behind. And this is where you can adopt one of those three hand positions. So this is my family. And then the wings come out, forward and back to the heart. And we'll stand and shake out those knees a little bit before we try this once again. So coming down into the squat, pulling in the abdominals, pulling in the tailbone, breathing in, breathing out. And we'll send the arms to one side, with the thought of, I send my wish of peace to all living beings, and sealing it at the heart. Breathing in and breathing out. And then sweeping to the other side, I send my wishes of life to all living beings. And breathing into that and being with that thought for a moment. And then sealing it at the heart. So maybe sinking in the knees a little bit more. As we spread both wings, I send my wishes of love to all living beings. As we send that and shine that love out, then we'll send those wings all the way to the back with this thought of, this is my family. And then the wings come forward to the heart, and then we stand. And maybe shake the knees out once again. So from that blessing of peace, life, and love to all living beings this Earth Month, we'll step forward with the left foot and send the right foot back. So we're setting up for Virabhadra 1 or Warrior 1. And so in Warrior 1, you want to find that nice firm foundation. And breathing into that foundation once you have found it. Pressing those feet into the earth. So your heel of your front foot kind of joins with that heel of the back foot, which is on a diagonal. Bringing the hands to the heart. Remembering that beauty in nature, which is sacred, and that we all want to protect. Inhaling the wings up, exhaling into that front knee. So embodying that warrior spirit of courage when we have to advocate for the earth, for all living beings. Sometimes for a specific species of living being. You know, looking straight ahead with that sense of determination, deepening the stance, and then exhaling, straightening that front leg, bringing the wings down and back to the heart. Breathing in, breathing out, and then once again sweeping those arms up on the inhale, exhaling and bending that front knee. Feeling that courage gathering within, that sense of fearlessness, pressing those feet into the earth, grounding in that earth energy. Breathing in, breathing out. And then exhaling the wings down, straightening the leg, and coming back to that heart place. Breathing in, breathing out. And then we'll come into this, sweep into Warrior 1 one more time. Feeling that back foot supporting us, feeling that front foot supporting us. And there's going to be a sunbeam that's just going to drop out of the sky. And we're going to grab that as it comes in front of us and pulling that into the heart, into the torso. Radiating and shining on every cell in the torso, in the arms, in the head and brain, and into the legs until finally we're this radiant, shining being. And then exhaling all those energies that do not serve us well and taking them down to Mother Earth. So planting those fingertips in the earth. Breathing in, breathing out. And then pressing those feet into the earth because we're going to rise once again. Inhaling and coming up once again, bringing the hands to the heart and the legs are straight and supporting us. Breathing in, breathing out, sweeping the arms up over the head on the inhale breath, exhaling into that front knee again. Holding that stance of the spiritual warrior. Holding that courage, that place of being one-pointed, of not faltering. And here comes that sunbeam again. So we're going to reach out, grab it, and pull it into the torso. Lighting up all the cells that reside in the torso, in the arms and head, and finally in the legs, until just our radiant essence is shining and pushing out, once again, all doubt, all fear, all despair, all hopelessness, and sending it into the earth. Planting those fingers in the earth, and then we will pop them up in front of us, leaning on that front leg, lifting that back leg up, and then bringing it back to its partner. Inhaling the wings up, over the head, and back to the heart. And then I'll take a step back. And once again, we'll return to that ocean breath, the tides breathing in, the tides breathing out. Then we'll bring the other foot forward, bending that back foot on a diagonal, having that lead foot positioned straight away from the body. Kind of inching forward, finding that foundation that is gonna sustain you and your body. And once you've found that foundation, we're gonna bring the hands up to the heart. So both the legs are straight. Both the feet are connected to Mother Earth. And once again, we're going to inhale these arms up, exhale down. Feeling those feet holding us, feeling that courage carrying us. Breathing in, breathing out. Feeling that back foot anchoring us in the earth, that leg straight, that line of energy back there. And then exhaling, straightening the legs, bringing the wings down and back to the heart. Breathing in, breathing out. Imagine the head is touching that clear blue sky. And we're getting earth energy and blue sky energy as we inhale and sweep the wings up. Exhale into that front knee. Squaring those hips forward, getting that sense of these are two headlights and they're shining straight ahead, not off to the side, but forward. Breathing in, breathing out as we embrace that spirit of fortitude, that spirit of firmness. That heart of courage. And then exhaling, straightening the front leg, the wings come down, the palms come back to the heart. Breathing in, breathing out. Being anchored in that earth energy. Being anchored in that beauty of nature. Taking that into the heart as we once again inhale and sweep the Wings up, exhale into that front knee. So we're halfway between that front knee and that back leg. So we're not leaning forward. And then here comes that sunbeam again. So we're going to reach out and grab that and pull it into the heart. And soak all those cells in that light. Feeling the warmth of the sun. Feeling the body. Feeling the heart. Exhaling all shadows, all darkness. And sending them down, down, down to the earth and planting those fingertips into the earth. Being that conduit for earth energy. Breathing in, breathing out, and then pressing those feet into the earth because we're going to rise up, inhaling, coming back up and sweeping the arms all the way up this time. Exhaling into that front leg. Squaring those hips towards the front of the room, the center. And once again, grabbing that sunbeam, pulling it into the heart, illuminating all those cells that make up who you are. Feeling that warmth of the sun, remembering what it's like to be standing in the sun and how the warmth can feel so good. And then sending away all those things, the darkness, the shadows, into the earth. Popping those fingertips up ahead of you, kind of like a tripod, as we lean on that front foot, lifting that back foot up. Doesn't matter how far, and bring it up next to its neighbor. And then we'll inhale up, bringing the wings all the way up and back to the heart. Breathing in, breathing out. Being a part of nature, taking your place in nature, because it's through that relationship with nature that we feel full, that we can maximize our potential in life, that we can feel unencumbered, expanding our horizons. So speaking of expanding our horizons, then we'll go back. If you'd like to use the wall, you can, or you may not. But we're going to go into tree pose. And so standing in front of the wall or into the wall. And so with tree pose, there's many variations of tree, and two of them are sapling. So with sapling, we can cross one foot completely over the bottom foot, or we can rest the heel on the trunk. And so we're just sticking the balls of the foot into the earth. So standing on the earth, and then once again this knee goes off to the side so it can be a hip opener. Bringing the hands up through the core to the heart. And then extending these hands up for cosmic tree. Right now we have lots of flowering trees, so you can twinkle the fingers, being representative of the flowers in the trees right now. Or we can bend the arms like the bristlecone pine. They're always gnarly looking, and their branches and their being have to deal with a lot of the elements. They're at the top of the mountain. Some of them are like 1,000 years old. So we're maintaining that steady posture and at the same time twisting the arms from side to side like the bristlecone does. Some of the oldest living beings on the planet, the bristlecone, has lots of different configurations. Usually has some wind-blown effect with the bristlecone. And then we'll bring these limbs up to center and down to the heart and undo the trunk. Coming to the center, maybe bending the knees a little bit. As we go on the other side, so on this side we can hold any of the base positions with the foot at the side, the foot up above the knee, or the foot crossing over. So I'm going to do the foot crossing over. Resting into your tree essence as we stretch towards the sun, bringing those limbs up. And again, starting with the cosmic tree and being all aglow with all that it is. Breathing with the tree. And then coming into bristlecone pine, so the arms might be in some other position. As they endure the elements, pressing into the earth with your feet as you change your position. So balance poses can quiet the mind because we're concentrating on a point in front of us. Coming to the other side, pressing into those roots, and then ending with the flowering tree once again, so twinkling the fingers. And then bringing the limbs together, bringing the hands down to the heart of the tree. Trees showing unconditional shelter for all, and then unfurling the legs. And bouncing the knees a little bit. So from tree we'll come down onto our mats. Coming into turtle, so the soles of the feet are coming together. Bringing our feet together and then bringing the hands either down the legs to the feet or under the feet and out. Doming the back. Looking down, bringing the chin down to the throat, allowing the head just to hang as we come into that inner turtle. Coming into the core, into the essence of our being, into our true nature, and breathing with that. Once again, breathing in light. Breathing out whatever we need to let go of. watching those tides. Yoga being for the body and mind. A lot of expansion in the mind that happens just by bringing the awareness to the breath. Moving from turtle and coming out. Bringing the soles of the feet together, and then with either the hands on the knees or the hands with the fingers pointed forwards, rocking back and forth into rock and roll butterfly. Bringing those wings up high as we roll from one side to the other, massaging the glutes. Rolling from side to side. Rocking and rolling. And we'll try once more. Haven't seen the butterflies yet, but the birds are all coming. And then crossing the feet. And coming into seated mountain. So in seated mountain, one hand is inside the other, and the head we have in that clear blue sky, like the mountains. A lot of times around the peaks in their rockiness is the bighorn sheep. And at their base, there are flowers, which will be coming in a month in the mountains. So how to be that mountain and growing up from the base, feeling that extension, that expanding of horizons in being the mountain. So recently when I went to the mountains, I saw lakes. And so in the mountains, you can sometimes row your boat. So we're going to row our boat while we're in those clear mountain ponds and lakes. Bringing those oars closer and closer to the feet. Coming back on the tailbone. Leaning forward, trying not to collapse the back, keeping it nice and long. Perhaps you're on Evergreen Lake. Perhaps you're higher, where they have those rainbow trout. Rowing the boat. Merrily rowing the boat. How can we find our merriness in life when things aren't going so well or they're challenging? So rowing that boat, coming back on that tailbone, coming back up. Remembering that the oars just gently skim the water. Don't have to bring them down too far. So we're going to go from rowing the boat, bringing those oars down, crossing the legs into hydrant. So on hydrant, I'll be on all fours. So the hands are underneath the shoulders, the knees are underneath the hips, finding that grounded foundation on the earth again as we get ready for hydrant. So with hydrant, we're going to bring up that left knee and I'm going to look at it. So I'm twisting the neck and then we're going to exhale it out to the side, out straight so it's on a diagonal. Breathing in and out, then bring the leg behind. Doesn't matter how high. And then exhaling that foot to the ceiling. And bringing that knee home. And then we'll repeat on the other side. So first I'll lift that knee. So this is kind of a celebration to all of our dog friends that are in our family. And then bringing that leg out on the diagonal. Breathing through that. And then straight behind. Exhaling the foot so that it's on the ceiling. And bringing it down. So this is really good for sciatica. Bringing that opposite knee up, looking at that, twisting the neck, exhaling that leg out to the side, straight behind the body, and then placing that sole of the foot into the ceiling. Coming down and repeating one more time on this side. Lifting the knee, looking at that. Exhaling the leg out, rolling the leg behind us, and then putting the foot on the ceiling. So bending that knee and taking it down. So we'll do this one more time, lifting the knee, stretching the leg out on a diagonal, rolling it behind the body, and putting the foot on the ceiling. Bringing that knee home. And then we'll try this on the other side. Lifting up the bent knee. Looking at it as we send it on the diagonal. Rolling it behind the body, straight. And up to the sky. And down. So as it comes down, we'll roll back into Janu Shirasana, and we'll just do a couple of these. So with one knee bent, and we'll start with the other leg straight, and then we're turning the torso, drawing that earth energy up, twisting, and then I'm going to bend this knee a little bit, just a scooch. Inhaling the wings up and exhaling as we're flowing down. I'm lifting that foot and wrapping my hands around it. Pulling that chin in just as a turtle might. Pressing the crown of the head into the sky. Inhaling, coming out with the wings. Exhaling, coming down and scooting that foot out a little bit more. The body is willing, kind of listening to the body and seeing what is comfortable for it. Inhaling those wings up. And as we have them up, we're going to switch to the other side. So as we switch to the other side, we will once again turn the torso. So I'm turning my torso towards this leg and bending it a little. Inhaling the arms up and exhaling down. As I exhale down, my foot is popping up. I'm extending the neck, pulling the chin into the throat. This is so good for the back, because we're kind of, with our hands on the sole of the feet, we're kind of pushing the knee in through our back, into the kidneys. Inhaling the wings back up, and then I might pop that foot out a little bit, or I might not. And coming in for the pull once again. Exhaling, inhaling, inhaling the wings all the way up and down. So bringing the hands into the lap and breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in the beauty of nature. Breathing out all those thoughts that we don't need. Breathing in the beauty of nature and how it just fills up the soul with positivity, with possibility, and exhaling all those energies and thoughts that we don't need. So then we'll do a quick twist, bringing the legs out, and we're going to X them. So the legs will be in an X position, inhaling the arms up, and then we're going to turn towards whatever leg is on top. So bringing the wings up and turning to this side with this leg on top. So if it's the right leg on top, we'll turn to the right. If it's the other one, we'll turn the other way. Feel that sprouting sensation again of how we're putting the head into the blue sky. We're twisting the lungs, so especially in virus season or cold season, or when we have upper respiratory challenges, we want to strengthen those lungs, so we're twisting them to the side. And then we'll lift the wings up, come to center, and then I'll switch my legs out, putting the other leg on top, sweeping those wings out as I turn to that other side. Looking over the back shoulder, twisting around the belly, breathing in and breathing out. So how full can we make the breath when those lungs are being twisted? So it's sometimes a little challenging. And then we'll lift the wings, come around to center again, and cross the legs and breathe. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. So then we're going to come into Cobra. Since we're in the Rocky Mountains, it'll have to be, we're entering rattlesnake season. So the rattlers are starting to come out and show themselves on the mountain paths, and so we'll call this the rattlesnake today. Finding a nice position into the earth. The feet can be together or a little bit hip width apart. The hands can be near the ears. And once again, as we rise into the goodness, sliding the hands forward if we're going to start with Sphinx. Feeling that curve in the back as we come up towards our goodness. Coming into our fullness of our being. Spreading those shoulders. And then lifting the arms and exhaling, kind of escalatoring down. And as we come down, then breathing in. Once again, and breathing out. Lifting those shoulders up, and then inhaling and scooching the hands forward as we rise up. And today as we rise up, we're going to look up towards that blue sky. Looking up towards those possibilities. Marinating our mind in that, and then exhaling, lifting the arms and coming down. Breathing in, breathing out. And thinking about whether you want to come up in Sphinx again, or if you want to try it with full Bhujangasana. So inhaling, lifting the shoulders, broadening the chest, keeping those elbows close to home. Coming up into snake. Rising into that highest expression of ourselves. Looking up at the sky, soaking in that blue sky of horizons that are expanding, of increased possibilities, coming forward and then slowly coming down. Lifting those hands, placing them back into the earth. Breathing in. Breathing out. So this time we're going to move from rattlesnake to sweeping the arms out and putting each hand underneath the thigh so they're face up, so the palms are facing up. So we're laying down on top of our hands. And while we're in this position, we're going to lift the left leg. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in. Doesn't matter how far, so it can just be a little bit. And then exhaling it slowly down. And then with the breath, inhaling the other leg up. Breathing in, breathing out. So the forehead is still in the floor, still in the earth. Holding that leg up and then slowly lowering it to the earth. And this one's a little bit predictable. So this is locust or grasshopper. So then we're going to take a big inhale and lift both legs. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, and bringing those legs down. And then we're going to try it with the hands planted into the earth right next to us. It's just like you have your grasshopper legs on. So once again, we're going to lift those legs. Breathing in, seeing a bunch of grasshoppers. Breathing out, breathing in and out, and then lowering the legs down. Sweeping those hands around and bringing them underneath the forehead. Breathing into Mother Earth. Breathing out. Grasshoppers and locusts are quite social. They're always in groups. They're always with their families, which are huge. And then sliding the hands out, bringing them towards the waist so that we can come up into tabletop. And from tabletop, we're going to come down into mesa. Visiting the mesa once again, the table that rises out of the plains, from which you can see everything in perfect clarity in all directions. So how can we have that mesa sight? How can we have that mesa vision? Breathing in as we remember nature, as we remember the earth. Breathing in, breathing out. And then coming up into tabletop. So from tabletop, let's see which position I will do. I'll come into this position. We're going to be in tabletop at first, and then come straight up. Oh, no, I am going to be in this position. Inhaling up and lengthening upwards towards the sky, and then we're going to exhale down with the hands, around with the hands to the feet as we come down into rabbit. Coming down into rabbit. On the crown of the head, inhaling, and then the hands come right up the body, right back to the heart. Breathing in, and as we breathe out, the hands come down. They follow the legs all the way around to the heels, and we come down on the crown. Massaging that brain. This is good for the memory. Good again for the kidneys in the back. Inhale, coming up. And the hands follow the body once again and come up to the heart. Inhaling and sprouting. Inhaling and extending the head upwards. Exhaling and the hands come down. They follow the legs around, and we're on the crown again. So being the rabbit, what does your landscape look like in your life? Inhaling and coming up, bringing the hands to the heart, blooming and growing. And then once again, we're going to head for that hole. So exhaling, the hands come down, the head comes down, and we're in the hole. Really good for digestion. Inhaling and coming up, bringing the hands to the heart. So then we'll come into tabletop. As we come into tabletop with the hands under the shoulders, the knees under the hips, we're going to bring this knee to the elbow a couple of times. Straighten it behind us. And then we're going to bring it up to the hands and scoot the other leg back. As we come into a pigeon pose, feeling that fullness of being in the pigeon, seeing how the knee feels, how the back is feeling, and then we're coming down. So coming down on the forearms. Feeling that hip heat up a little bit. And sending that softness from the heart, that softness from the breath, down into this hip. How to just break through any of the tension that may reside there. Break through it with that flow of softness, that flow of love from the heart, flowing from that heart space all the way down into the hip. With the breath, and then in pigeon, if you need to bring that hip down into contact with the mat or the earth, you can do that as well. So seeing what your body wants today, inviting it to do what it needs for the day. Embracing your inner pigeon. Taking a moment to be with that exhale breath. Massaging those muscles, massaging those nerves with the breath. Sometimes I like to imagine that the breath has all these little fingers and they're going into all those muscles in the hips. Being present with our friend hip. And then we're going to pull the hands to the side as we come out with that leg. And then we're going to take the other leg and send it back a couple of times. And then we're going to bring it to the front and scooch that other leg behind us. Coming down and being with this side of the body. And sometimes it might be different than the first. Being present with the pigeon. Breathing in, breathing out, and then coming down on the forearm. And being present with the this side of the body. Breathing with the hip, sending that softness from the heart all the way down into the hip. Sending that softness. The hips work so hard for us. And sometimes we don't give them the TLC they deserve. So the pigeon helps us to do that. Being present with the hip. Breathing softness into the hip. And then once again, walking out of this, bringing the hands in closer to the body with the fingers lined up in front of the knee or with the knee. Becoming the pigeon once again. And coming down on the hip. So we'll move from pigeon onto our backs, bringing our knees into the chest, rolling from side to side. Either rolling from side to side on the earth with both knees in the chest, or if you like with the knees apart. And then at some point, keeping the legs straight up in the air, pressing that waist into the floor and then letting it raise, pressing the waist into the floor and then release, pressing the waist into the floor and releasing. So then we'll bring the legs down. Get ready for Shavasana, deep relaxation. And here again, we can bring the palms facing the sun, facing the light, the legs a little bit apart. And again, if your back still needs that, you can press the small of your back into the earth once again. Lying down in Shavasana, turning the head gently from side to side. Puddling into the earth, feeling all those points where your body merges with the earth. While I go and get my guitar. Oops, sorry. Drawing that energy from the earth. Inviting it into your being. Feeling that inner essence. Taking shelter in that. Remembering that beauty in nature and inviting that into your heart. Celebrating life. Baba Nam Kevalam 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 Baba Nam Peace to all, life to all, love to all. Baba Nam Kevalam. May you find a way this week to bring peace to all living beings, whether they be mineral or plant or animal or human, life to others and love to others. Namaskar. Thank you for coming.